show all about premium cigars. It's actually not all about premium cigars either. We talk about
It's all about all kinds of stuff.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
it's
all about stuff that we decide we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Like cigars is mixed in it from time to time.
Yeah. Well, we review a cigar.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
And today we are reviewing the Rocky Patel Disciple. I believe I had this on my one of my go-to
It's
cigars.
not live.
What do you mean it's not live?
Yeah. Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you said wait a second.
Oh.
I did?
Thought you did.
I wonder how it is that Rocky Patel has a disciple and Diesel has a disciple, and they're not fighting with each other over trademark stuff.
Who the hell are you?
I don't know. Yeah, who's this guy? Oh.
You know, I've been.
Well,
You've
I've
got a
been-
lot of time to think about, perhaps.
Well, and clearly that's all I could come up with.
Welcome back, Paul.
Thank you. It's been a long time out in the fields,
Yeah.
and I missed my home terribly.
Your boots are muddy.
We missed you. And the fans have missed you, because everybody keeps asking how you are.
I heard you did a show where you discussed smoking brisket
Yes.
instead of smoking cigars.
Yes.
I'm kind of glad I missed that one.
Why? Brisket's awesome.
Brisket is wonderful, but
Listen,
cigars are cigars.
we talk about whatever the hell we feel like talking about.
That's right.
And that's just the way it is.
That's
You don't
the
like
way
it,
it
tune
is.
out.
That's it. Change
That's
the
right.
channel.
Change
Oh,
the
you
channel.
can't do that.
No flipping.
Be like everybody else, tune out.
No flipping. Today we're smoking the Rocky Patel Disciple.
You said
You know,
I know, but it's been out. I'm just saying it's been
I
out
wonder-
for a while.
because somebody else has a disciple.
Stop.
we just. You know, I never realized that this room was such an echo chamber.
Yeah, exactly. Paul, you know the blend. What does the blend
The
say?
blend is very straightforward. It's all Nicaraguan filler and binder with a Mexican San Andres Maduro wrap.
Straightforward.
Indeed.
And as I recall, this is fairly bold cigar. Chock with lots of nicotine. So I'm hungry. First cigar. I didn't have a smoke. I didn't have a cigar all day yesterday. So let's see if I get loopy. Or
Have any chocolate?
no. You got chocolate fizz?
Nah.
The hell, Moose?
No.
Yeah, well. Guess it's gonna be interesting.
Didn't ask me.
You have any chocolate?
No.
Only in the cigar. Because there is almost instantly some chocolate.
I haven't had one of these in a while. Wow, you're right.
Right away.
This is one of my go-to cigars, man. I really like this cigar.
I like it a lot better than the other disciple.
Yeah.
Would you call it? Would you describe it as a milk chocolate or like a dark chocolate,
I'm
or
getting-
something in between?
I'm getting-
like maybe 75% cacao.
More dark than
Yeah, I'm
milk.
getting more dark than anything.
I agree. By the way, we're all wearing black today. We're mourning for the Eagles.
For the Eagles.
And for Kelsey retiring.
He's not retired.
Well, he says maybe not.
He says he hasn't announced. So he is, but he is. He wants.
I don't know. Would you want to go out, that being your last game?
No, absolutely not. But
Exactly.
but
Didn't even get the tush pushed down.
Yeah.
oh yeah, well of course the league wanted Tampa to win. You saw the guy almost ripped Hurt's head off, and there was no call.
Yeah, no call. That was ridiculous.
You know what's I've been.
I was watching the game, and I'm like, that's a face mask. He's face
Yep,
masking.
absolutely.
He was pulling him back with his helmet.
And I was
dude.
watching the Detroit LA game, and at the, like in the first quarter, I'm like, yep. It's like the league wants Detroit to move on, and you could just tell the way the calls were going. And I'm like, I'm becoming more and more convinced that
It's scripted. More or less.
there's a desired outcome.
You mean it's become reality TV? With not so much reality?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
I'm glad Detroit won, though. I like Detroit. I want to see them win.
So do I. Of all, yeah,
I
all
wanna
the
see
teams are left
This is how many years since they've been in the playoffs?
since
30.
Yeah,
Since
30
91,
something years.
91, yeah.
91.
Well, no, that's the last time not since they've been in the playoffs, but last time they won a playoff game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
91.
They've been in the playoffs 9 times.
Almost as bad as the Dallas Cowboys.
That's the only redeeming thing that happened this weekend. Was that they lost.
That's always a good
Oh,
thing.
I'm so happy about that.
You know, I get more pleasure out of them losing than I do the Eagles winning.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
Yeah.
You're not a real. You're a Giants fan or Jets fan or something like that.
No, I'm an Eagles fan.
No, that you would. Then you'd agree with us if you were.
I get.
Well, right now,
I take more joy of the Cowboys losing.
I wonder if Kelsey would retire if he was with Taylor Swift instead of his brother.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
His wife might get a little pissed off.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
I thought I watched that Kelsey special. And I thought he waited. It was pretty much to the last minute before he decided he was coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, I, as an Eagles fan, I hope he plays. But as a, he seems like a really cool guy. I hope he retires because,
Before he hits his head too many times?
not
I think
necessarily that. It's
Tell
just
you from
knees.
Personal experience.
Yeah, right.
Hitting your head too many times is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's
Did you have
family
our
man,
mics
More
off?
Benny Hill
kids.
slaps?
No,
Our mics were off.
Yeah,
that whole time?
yeah, but it's all right. We got it. It's coming through on there.
Okay.
You're not mic'd up though, are you?
Nah.
Not like last week.
Batteries.
So we don't care about the timing anymore?
No.
What if we end
And
too
you're allowed
early?
to curse, Paul.
Dude, we
No,
went,
Doesn't matter.
for our first show, we went 50 minutes.
Doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. We can be on here as long as we want.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, I'm getting. It's almost. It went from for me, a dark chocolate to more. Now it's more of a baker's chocolate, where it doesn't have any of the sweetness. It just has the real
That
strong
little
flavor of
bitter
cacao.
tang.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't remember this. I don't remember this last time. In fact, this is one of the most distinct baking powder or baking cocoa flavors I've had
Flavor
since
profile,
the Perdomo Noir.
Wow, it's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's going back a ways.
Yeah.
It is.
Wow.
Speaking of cacao and tobacco, I think a few months ago we talked about issues in Ecuador, and the issues in Ecuador have reached the point where it's going to affect tobacco in the pipeline. And since Ecuador is one of the most prolific and valued wrapper sources in the industry, it could have some real implications. And for those of you that don't know, the problem in Ecuador is that 2 or 3 of the Mexican drug cartels have figured out that it's worthwhile having a port on the Pacific coast instead of on the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico coast.
It's Caribbean.
So they've taken over a lot of Ecuador, like big time fighting in the streets between. It's like Mexico a couple of years ago.
So you're saying the drug cartel's taking over the port?
They've taken over the port.
So what that means that they're just not letting anything else go out, or they have to?
No, they're letting everything go in and out, but they're also fighting a war in the streets amongst each other. So it's hard for businesses to get anything set up to go out. And that's gotten worse because the biggest domestic cartel in Ecuador, the head of it just escaped from prison last week. So now the president, who is the son of the guy they call the Banana King,
Right.
he owns all the banana plantations. His name is Noboa. So he basically said, I'm empowering the army to just go through the streets and do whatever they want to get rid of this, which just makes for even more open warfare
Yeah.
because the cartels are well armed. Maybe even better armed than the army.
But where in Ecuador is this going on near where tobacco is harvested?
No,
or, but the port.
But the
Well,
port is the big deal.
So they can't
And
necessarily
getting
get
to
around it.
Yeah, they can't
Gotcha.
get to it.
Wow.
And they're saying, you know, my people down there, the people I know, have said this is the worst that it's been since the big insurrection in '98, which was the one that my father and I got stuck in.
In a restaurant, right?
Well, we went to a restaurant,
That's
but
right.
we were staying in the Bankers Club.
Right.
I should tell that story.
Go right ahead.
So, in 1998, my father said to me, "What the hell do you do down there anyway? I want to come with you." So I brought him down to Ecuador, and I showed him the farms, and I showed him the factory, and then we took a day to be tourists and go up into the mountains to the capital, which is called Guayaquil. And it's a beautiful city. It's a 300-year-old Spanish colonial city at 9,000 feet elevation.
Wow.
Completely surrounded by active volcanoes. It is absolutely beautiful.
It's almost
9,000
It's
feet.
almost 2 miles up.
So we're there being tourists and looking at stuff. I think we had just looked at the Congressional Palace up there, because that city is it's the official capital of the country. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, 500,000 Aborigines, natives, came out of the jungle with machetes and took over the capital. So we hopped onto, we had flown up there on a private plane.
500,000. That's like 10 times Citizens Bank Park.
It's a lot of,
Yeah.
and they're all 4 feet tall, but they know how to use their machetes.
Cut your Achilles tendon. You'd be done for.
So
So Rob's only like 3 inches taller than all of us.
so they can shave your head.
You're right, Will. Like you're tall.
So we hopped on our plane to get back to the industrial capital, which is Guayaquil. And Guayaquil is where my factory was. So we get back to Guayaquil, and by the time we got there, it had become open war all over the country. Two of the generals who led the army joined the Indians in their insurrection. And of course, the way the army runs down there, all of their soldiers then joined the insurrection with them. The president decided that he was not going to declare martial law. He said, "I must let the Constitution rule." And then he cleared out a big chunk of the national treasury and hopped on a plane and disappeared.
Wow.
So then the army took over completely. And, you know, the other generals, the ones that didn't join the insurrection, and they declared that the vice president was now president, but they were going to run everything. And it was open warfare in the streets. So my partner down there says to me, grab your father and meet me at the Bankers Club. That's where everybody's going to stay. So I asked him what the Bankers Club was, because I didn't know. And he said of the families that pretty much own everything in Ecuador, there are several that own banks. And years ago, they got together and built the tallest building in South America and named it the Bankers Club. It's basically an office building, except the top 5 floors are like a resort.
Wow.
With pools on the roof and, you know, infinity pools and bars and white glove service. And so we went up there, and it was great to be up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We basically hung out on the roof and looked down at the war in the streets. And in fact, I said to my partner, "Don't you care how this comes out?" He said, "No, that's just politics. We owned everything before. We'll own everything when it's done. It has nothing to do with us."
Wow.
So we're there for 5 days. Nothing in, nothing out, war in the streets, tanks going back and forth. It was crazy. And then the head of the family that my partner is part of said, "You know, I'm sick of this. I have to go out and get a really good steak." And I said to him, "Daniel, you know there's a war going on." He said, "I don't care. Meet me in the lobby with your father in 10 minutes. So I gather up my father and we go down to the lobby, and there's the family, and a bunch of soldiers and an armored personnel carrier. And we all get in the armored personnel carrier. And the soldiers cordon off the street between the Bankers Club and the restaurant he wanted to eat at. So on one side of the street there's war going on. On the other side of the street there's war going on. And there's us driving up the middle to a restaurant to have a steak.
Why couldn't they bring the steak to you?
Well, who was going to run a steak? They didn't have Grubhub back then.
What?
Like armored.
He
Grubhub.
wanted, yeah.
There's no, wait a second, there's no restaurant in the hotel? Or in the
Yeah, but
in the building?
they didn't have steak. And he wanted to get out. He said, I got to get out of here. I've been here for 5 days. It's too much. I got to get out. So we ate. We went back to,
How was the steak?
steak was really good. It was Argentine beef.
Well, all right. Now we're talking.
So we go back to the Bankers Club.
I assume Argentina.
And after a little bit longer, the army captured the two generals that had joined the revolution, killed one of them, threw the other one in prison. At which point, and they gave the Indians 5 more seats in the Congress. And that's all the Indians wanted in the first place, so they went back into the jungle. Nobody heard from them anymore. So basically the insurrection was over as soon as they did that.
So,
But in the classic South American third world way, 2 years later, the general that was in prison was released, ran for president, and won. Which is kind of crazy, but that's what happened. He only served for about 3 years, but he won the election.
So fast forward to what's going on now.
Well, what's going on?
Have we seen any delays in I mean, the biggest is the Ecuadorian wrapper. Well, that's the only thing
That's the only thing that would be delayed. And not yet, but they tell me it's coming, and it's coming soon. And this guy, Noboa, ran as a law and order candidate before any of this even happened. So he's got his hands full living up to the law and order idea with the Mexican and domestic cartels fighting a war. It's nasty.
so was it worth it?
The steak.
Yeah. Going to get the steak?
It was
lived, so yeah.
It was.
Risking your life?
It didn't feel like we were risking our life sitting in an armored personnel carrier.
Nah, I've seen that.
And with a whole platoon
what happened
surrounding
to
the
Tony
restaurant,
Stark.
nothing was going to happen there either.
Huh? Look what happened to Tony Stark in an armored vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, he was up against people with more sophisticated weapons than machetes.
Yeah.
That's all they had were machetes?
Well, that's what the Indians had. The soldiers had guns.
No.
Well, that's okay. We tried to overtake the government with tire irons because that's how most insurrections are run. Morons.
They did use tires during that insurrection, by the way. They put tires on all of the runways of all of the airports and set them on fire so nobody could get in or out by plane at all. We were the last, coming from Quito, the capital, to Guayaquil, the industrial city, we were the last plane to land. And then it was completely shut.
So how long did it last?
8 days altogether.
Interesting. How much? I mean, how long would they? What am I trying to say? How long would a blockade have to last before it started affecting the industry? Like, I mean, they
About a year and a half, because
okay.
they have a lot of tobacco in the pipeline aging
Right.
and
Okay.
fermenting.
so it
but-
wouldn't affect anything, but it would affect stuff a year and a half down the.
That's
well,
when we'll see it.
Gotcha.
Like when the blue mold hit in the Connecticut Valley,
yeah.
and it killed the whole crop, but we didn't feel it for 2 years.
Right.
It's like that.
Yeah. Well.
Did you have dessert?
Yes.
Belay?
They have they have a
Flan?
national dessert. It's kind of like flan. It's called tres leches, 3 milks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Sorry. What do you guys think about the cigar?
Moose, I was just going to say, Moose, what do you think? Bruce is smoking a 6x60 because I know that's what he likes,
Yes.
that size.
I'm glad you didn't give me one of those.
Puts out a lot of smoke.
It does.
A lot of smoke.
What do you mean?
I can't even see Piz back there anymore.
Oh, he left already.
But I love the flavor. It's predominantly the cocoa, but it's got a little bit of pepper.
Right.
Just a little bit, to let you know it's Nicaraguan.
Yep.
It's very good cigar, very well made. Burns evenly.
Paul?
I would say the cocoa, which is dominant, back down a little bit. I agree with Moose that there's just a hint of pepper to it, but I'm also getting some things that are sneaking through the cocoa, like cedar, and maybe a little bit of something like, not dried pepper like hot pepper or even black pepper, but like fresh pepper, like green pepper or red pepper.
Huh.
Just a
Interesting.
hint. Just a hint.
So I'm going the opposite way with the. I agree with you on the cedar.
Yeah.
But I thought on the retrohale, I got really reminded me of like brown sugar or maple.
I didn't do a retro.
Although actually, maybe that's not exactly the opposite because peppers
Regular peppers are
kind of sweet. Well, the red, yellow, and orange are. The greens are a little bit too. Who knows? How about the strength? Or no, like Rob, you give your review first, or
I'm not
your
getting
first
it.
thoughts.
I'm not getting any of the, like a maple taste. I'm getting what those guys said, the little bit of the pepper. Definitely the cocoa. Cocoa stands out big time in this.
When you guys say pepper, you're usually talking about the black pepper,
Black
right?
Yeah, usually.
Not like
usually.
a green pepper,
Right,
right?
No.
Make sure I'm
If it was
not
anything
oddball.
other than black pepper, I would.
You are an
say so.
oddball.
Oddball or
More of an oddball. I'm getting a toastiness from it too, like a toasty taste.
you always.
Like
That's your
toasted.
signature flavor.
It is.
No, like
It seems
toasted
like it is.
bread.
Yeah.
Like toasted bread.
Yeah.
I get that.
As long as it's not bark.
No bark.
We're just saying no stop.
No bark.
No bark.
No peel notes either.
Yeah. No orange peel notes. Peel notes.
Or as somebody wrote once,
I'm
orange
getting
pea.
the strength to me is right in the middle. I don't think it's really that full bodied. It's like a 2.5, maybe a 3.
I'd say 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but three's not. It's not strong.
And they officially call it medium plus to full.
Yeah, and that's
It's-
exactly where it is.
Medium plus.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes
Yeah,
it to
I
full.
give it a 3.
Yeah.
When they give it that strength rating like that, as you described it, do you think that's based on them smoking the cigar and marketing, or is it based on the nicotine content?
I think it's marketing.
Okay, that's kind of what I assumed. Like I've
Because
only
so many cigars say they're full-bodied and they're not even close. A lot of cigars.
well, I don't think there's truly very many true full-bodied
Full-bodied
cigars.
cigars.
So that's my point.
But here,
But they say that because it's good marketing.
from a nicotine content,
I think there's a fair amount in here.
well, let's switch gears and go over to the Perdomo portfolio. Nick says that the highest nicotine content is the champagne. He says if you measure, so that's from a definition is his full body
strength.
cigar. Does anybody think that is even anywhere near a full bodied cigar?
No.
Some
No, but
medium at best.
I get what he's saying. I get a lot of nicotine from that cigar.
So
Yeah, but
it's
it
not
doesn't-
that
it
it's
doesn't-
full-bodied, it's
Full
nicotine
strength.
wrong.
Yeah, but when we talk
Nicotine
about
doesn't, for me, nicotine doesn't necessarily mean full body.
Right.
You can taste the nicotine, but it doesn't make it full body. All the other flavors.
well, it
and
makes it
everything.
full strength, and right now we're talking about the strength. But I mean, don't you think most of the time when we're talking about body, most people are talking about the strength of the cigar?
Most, yes.
Yeah. So, and I think we do too, because it's just the commonly accepted.
Johnny Oliva put it really well. And he's from Oliva Tobacco, not from Oliva Cigars.
Johnny Oliva. That sounds like. Was that in a movie or something?
Johnny Ola.
Oh, that's what it is. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
No,
Godfather.
Johnny Oliva said,
He's from Cuba. Johnny Ola.
Thank you.
Johnny Oliva said nicotine equals flavor. As a tobacco grower, he said nicotine equals flavor. The more nicotine you get in a breed or a leaf, the more flavor you're going to have. Might not be the flavor you want, but
Yeah, I
you're
was
going to
just
get
gonna say
more
that,
of it.
right. And it's
This one,
stronger.
however, mostly has the flavor that I
You know,
want.
for me, the strength of a cigar is, you know, like the power rating we give it.
Right.
But when it comes to the flavors, because you said that if it's a stronger cigar, you get more flavor. That's flavor. That's not strength to me.
Right.
You know,
Well, and that's
mean,
what,
like-
and that's
I
what
like
he
the
says.
strongest cigar.
Nicotine equals flavor.
the strongest cigar I ever smoked, and I still can't smoke the whole thing, is a LFD
Digger.
Digger.
Double the hero
You get
digger.
about that much left in the cigar, and it starts kicking your butt.
Really.
When you get that much in that cigar, I'm bored.
Yeah, I can't smoke
I
a
can't
cigar
smoke
that big.
It's just too
That's why I go with the Toro.
Yeah.
Because it's, yeah, I like variety. I like something different. And I don't smoke it all the way down to the end either.
I never smoke longer cigars except an occasional Lancero. For that reason, and I call it cigar ADD. Once
Yeah.
I've smoked more than a Robusto's worth of any cigar, no matter how good it is, I get bored. I need something else.
Yeah, and I smoke relatively. I smoke fast. So a lot of the nicotine gets trapped, so I get that it gets too bitter for me.
Okay.
Which,
Sorry.
by the
Yeah.
way, I think I identified the flavor I was trying to say before. It's like it's a chocolate covered cherry I'm getting from it, or
Regular
chocolates
cherry
and
or black cherry?
I don't know.
Maraschino.
Whatever they
A
put.
Luxardo cherry, the ones they put in old fashioned.
Stuff. That's good stuff right there. Man, those things are like $24 a jar.
It's because of the bourbon boom.
Yeah.
They were never expensive before.
I just keep the jar and put regular maraschino cherries in it to look fancy.
Why would you wait? Why would you destroy the taste of the bourbon by putting a cherry in it?
Well, it's a classic.
Old fashioned
Drink.
fancy.
I understand it's an old fashioned, but I don't drink old fashions. I
You
drink.
just drink bourbon.
I just drink bourbon.
Well,
Everything is
I'm with,
neat.
I'm
Here,
with you
here,
on that.
here, here.
Straight bourbon beats any mixed drink.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, I don't get
No.
why.
No, see, but I like sweeter. So adding the simple syrup and the cherry and the
Yeah.
orange does it. That's
So you like pina coladas because you like the little umbrella in it.
No, I like pina coladas.
I just like it because
coconut.
it's
Yeah.
Awesome.
good.
It's just like an awesome
See,
taste.
the only way
But you
I
have
like coconut
you have to make it-
is in a pina colada.
You have to make it with ice cream though.
Ooh.
I've never had that.
Oh, it's so much better.
What a way
not-
to fuck up
vanilla
good
bean.
booze.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But
What
no, I
a
would
fuck up
I
good
like the old fashioned because it's a little bit sweeter, and that's probably why I like bourbon more than anything else because it's sweeter.
Yeah, bourbon is.
Bourbon is, yeah.
Bourbon is bourbon. For we had some Sandy's family over for Christmas Eve, so she bought a bunch of stuff and she just grabbed some bourbon. She goes, I don't know if this stuff is any good. It was Woodford Reserve. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
that's pretty damn good. She was basing it on, I guess the cost of it. It's Woodford Reserve isn't
It's
that
not- no,
expensive,
it's
but
not.
it's
No, it's not.
fantastic.
It has been less affected by the boom in bourbon than a lot of the other established brands. Because most of them have gone through the roof, both at retail and in the secondary in the secondary
market,
nuts.
yes. Like
Absolutely
for
not.
Blanton's and Pappy and Weller or
All the
High hundreds, like 600, 700.
Elijah Craig is caught up in that too.
really?
Yeah.
Well, their barrel proof and their 18-year are both crazy expensive.
Yeah.
You know what's really good is the Basil Hayden Dark Rye. And I like rye too.
That's the only Basil Hayden I like.
The dark
but
rye
rye's
is
not-
really
But
good.
that's not sweet though.
That's what
No,
we
it's
talked about
spicy.
that before, and I always found it sweeter for some reason. But like I like the Redemption Rye too, and the Redemption High Rye, and I forget what that means, but
Well, to be rye, it has to be 51% rye. So 70%, 80%, 90% would be high rye.
it's the higher rye content.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And now that you say that, I did I remember that.
I still like to find Jonathan Drew's rye. That was really good. And
I never had it.
They don't. I
They don't
think
make it anymore?
I don't think so. There's got to be bottles somewhere.
I guarantee they're somewhere.
Look on the secondary market, you'll find one.
It's really good.
No one is ever going to do better in celebrity booze than
McConaughey.
no.
Dan Aykroyd.
No.
Proper 12.
George Clooney.
Hey, I thought he was into the coffee thing. Lavazza or...
He created a tequila and then
that's right.
sold it for $1 billion.
$1 billion?
$1 billion.
Man, let's get a cactus.
That's probably
I'm
why
sorry.
Jonathan Drew wanted to make it.
The best celebrity alcohol?
Well, Bob Dylan's is good too,
No.
Bob,
Frank
Sammy
Sinatra
Hagar's
Select.
tequila?
of course.
Have you ever had Sammy Hagar's tequila?
No.
Cabo
That's
Wabo.
Cabo Wabo. That's not
really?
in the class with Casamigo, George Clooney's.
kidding.
That's
Cabo Wabo's
really
good stuff.
excellent stuff.
Oh, I hate that one.
The Casamigo, really?
It doesn't taste like tequila.
Well, that's the idea.
the
It's very
idea.
super smooth.
See, I broke Scott's rule number 2 with Cabo Wabo.
Why?
Scott does not do shots.
No.
It gets bad news when that happens, man.
Yeah.
It gets ugly in a hurry. Shots.
You guys have never seen me intoxicated.
Well, I'm happy to say
We have a
you
tough
guys
time
haven't
handling you
seen me.
now.
Close.
Yeah, he's bad enough as it is. Him drunk would be a
Oh
nightmare.
yeah, if you would have got 2 more of those Kahlúas in me. I love Kahlúa. It's fantastic.
Boy, you got to drink a lot of that to get drunk.
Well, no, I don't. I have a very low tolerance for alcohol.
I had one of those the other day. I was out.
A Kahlúa or a
The
white or
drink-
black Russian?
The drink that we had at the show.
Oh,
So I like
the
to say.
A sombrero?
No. It's
talking about the-
basically a
Avo?
it's an espresso martini is what it is. It's a martini. It's got vanilla,
Vanilla
vodka,
vodka, coffee,
Kahlúa, and espresso.
espresso, not coffee. Yeah.
Kahlua and cream.
Kahlúa. It's got Kahlúa. Yeah,
Kahlua and cream
I
over
drink-
the rocks. That's a sombrero, and I love it.
Yeah, but it's vanilla vodka, Kahlúa, and espresso.
But the one we had at Davidoff was 10 times as good as the one we had at Casa Fuente.
Fuente, yeah.
It
I don't
light-
understand why.
Because one is
I don't know.
Davidoff and the other is Casa.
It was so much better. And that waitress is there every time I go there. She's there.
She's nice.
Yeah.
The one I don't like is the one at Fuente's. They put a cinnamon stick in theirs, and I don't like
That
cinnamon.
ruins the
But I
whole
thought
thing.
you liked bark.
I'd rather have bark than a cinnamon stick in there.
Well,
Cinnamon
take some bark
stick
with
is
you next
bark.
time.
I'm right, I know, but I'd rather have regular.
I'll
tree
bring
bark.
some bark in February or in March when we go. I'll bring some bark.
Yeah, that's right.
Off a maple tree.
Yeah.
I
be fun.
don't know if I got no maple trees. I'll have to find one.
I'm sure you can find one. There's plenty of
They're all over.
It's a predominant tree around here.
Oh, well, I guess I don't know if I would be able to tell. Other than, I mean, I would when they had
Go
the
to
leaves.
Maple
the
Shade.
leaf.
I'm sure there's a lot of them there.
Maple Glen, maybe.
The leaf on the tree will give you an indication.
That's why I was saying this time of year I would be able to tell.
No. Well, that would be difficult, but if you knew, had more knowledge in trees, you'd be able to tell without the leaf.
Yeah,
When,
well, I
when
don't.
I lived in
And I'm
Vermont,
just saying, if
we
you
count
did,
the
then I
maple
don't.
trees every year.
Vermont. You can't throw a dead cat without hitting a maple tree out in Vermont.
Unless you're on the ski slope.
Throw a dead cat. I always heard of swing a dead cat.
Either way.
Throw? I thought
You swing it and then you throw it.
Yeah.
Would you ever? Did you want like where the heck did who came up with that? Yeah, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a pharmacy or I don't know.
Some
Yeah,
guys,
you know,
I'd love to know the
some-
origin of that one.
you know,
some guys drank too much tequila.
There are two really interesting origin stories involving expressions that have cats. One is about pigs, but it's actually about cats. You know the expression, don't ever buy a pig in a poke,
Yeah.
which means buying something when you don't know what it is? Back in the Middle Ages, a sack, was called a poke, and crooks, for lack of a better expression, crooks would put kittens in a bag and say they were baby pigs because they squealed kind of the same way. So if you bought a pig in a poke, you might wind up with cats. But related to that from the same time period and the same issue, you've heard the expression, let the cat out of the bag?
Ah,
That's how you ruin selling a pig in a poke. If you let the cat out of the bag, they know it's not a pig.
oh, that's cool. I love that kind of stuff.
Me too. It's a great origin story.
Yeah. Rob's looking up the swing a
It
dead
is.
cat.
It is. Swing a dead cat or not enough room to swing a dead cat. It just means there's very little room.
No, I don't like that one. It's good.
Or
Paul's is
space.
better. Paul's is better.
I like Paul's better too.
But those cats aren't dead. Unless you let the cat out of the bag.
Unless it's Schrodinger's cat. You don't know
If you
it's
can
dead-
find it.
If it's dead
You don't
or
know if
alive.
it exists or
If
not.
it's dead or alive, yeah.
I'm getting a little tangy, like a little tang or something from this. And there's another flavor going on that,
The cocoa backed way off.
yeah, there's a flavor it's distinct, but I can't identify it.
I'm getting a little bit of orange zest.
Yeah.
I wanted to, maybe that's what it is. I didn't want to say it because I thought maybe it was because I'm looking at the label, but
I'm getting a little orange zest now.
Yeah, me too.
I'm getting a little-
And there must be a decent amount of Secco in here.
you
'Cause
dry?
I'm finding that my
Really?
mouth is drying right out.
No, I'm
Mine's
not.
not. I'm not drinking a lot. Who said there was bread? Who said something about bread? I
Well, you
to-
said toasty and I said toasted bread.
Bread, yeah, I'm getting that right
Yeah.
now. Not the toast, just a breadiness.
You know what? It seems to me this cigar is changing quite a bit.
So it's complex.
Yeah,
The complexity is complex.
which is kind of fun for me because I like trying to figure out what the
It's
difference.
like smoking two different cigars.
Or 3 or 4.
Like 12.
Yeah.
I don't do much of that when it's only on the show for the most part that I really focus on that kind of stuff.
That's because when you're not focused.
Yeah,
on it,
when
like
you're
we
when
are.
you're
Like
when
if
you're just
doing
sitting
it when you're
smoking a
working,
cigar,
it's-
it's a cigar you like, you smoke it, and you move on.
Yeah,
Nah, I always contemplate the cigar.
I wish I did it more, but
And I always thought you were trying to take a shit.
Sometimes I contemplate a cigar while I'm
love
trying to take
taking
a shit. Not at home, though.
Well, maybe that's a problem. You should rectify.
No.
yeah, there's another flavor in there. I can't.
I think Moose is right. It's
No, no,
orange zest.
I'm getting that, but there's something in something else.
I'm not getting that at all.
No, that's what I meant when I said the tangy. I guess that's Moose refined it down to the orange zest.
So we're getting orange peel notes.
No, zest. Keeps you from misspelling it.
You can't accidentally call it a P note.
I don't know what it is.
It is. I think it's a tremendous cigar.
It might
It's
be.
really good.
It might be kind of a pepper without the spice, if that makes any sense.
That's white pepper.
Like a white pepper.
But it's, maybe.
It's more clean.
Yeah. Like I'm not getting that tingly. I'm just getting the kind of the flavor.
Yeah, the flavor of it, yeah.
That's white pepper.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. I followed it all the way down.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
All right, I've done my job. I'm going home.
So what else is going on in the cigar industry these days?
I noticed there's a lot of releases coming out. It seems like more stuff's coming out earlier this year than, and it's a lot of boutique-y stuff other than the new Attic and the Amazon Basin, which I'm getting calls about that already. As soon as people
But this
found out
year
it was
is
coming
another
out.
release
Attic?
of the classic
No, the Amazon Basin.
It's already out.
Yeah,
It's already
Yeah.
gone.
It's out and gone.
Did you get any?
yeah.
They're basically gone.
In fact, last time Dan was in, we got a
We got
advanced
20.
copy.
Yeah. We got like 20 boxes in. That's not a. It's
And it
not a-
evaporated.
Well, we're getting 20 boxes.
No, didn't they? Oh, I saw the invoice. They
Yeah.
didn't come in yet.
No, yeah.
Thank
Oh, you
you
all right?
okay back there? No falling down. That's my gig.
We got two Weebles.
How'd you guys make out with the snow? Thank God we finally got some. We're supposed to get some more Friday, but
Yeah.
then I asked because there's a big difference between where I live and here on how much snow we get.
I get
And
more than
even
you, 'cause
more of a
I'm
difference
up in
than
Quakertown.
where I
I get
am.
a lot more. I think we
Actually,
got like 3
it was
inches.
fine. I
3 to
just drove
5, I think
slower
we
than
got.
I usually do.
We got less than an inch.
I think we got 3 to 5.
Yeah, and I couldn't shovel because I couldn't.
You know,
So Buffalo got 40 inches.
Yeah.
they couldn't play their game
How did they?
the next day.
Did
It was
they?
also 45-mile-an-hour winds, and it was a whiteout.
Yeah.
You couldn't see 3 feet in front of you.
Yeah, I was
a
so
great way
bummed
to
because I
play
was
football.
I was really looking forward to a snowball. I just would have been so neat. Now, I don't know. Does anybody know? Oh yeah, I think they put a tarp on the field because there wasn't a trace of snow on that field. I wasn't sure if they had a tarp or if it was a heated field.
Probably
Or both.
It is, well,
Probably
that
heated
and they
field,
paid
that's
people
interesting.
to bring their own shovel. We'll pay you $20 an hour to help us clean the stadium.
I did
did
see
that.
that.
They did
I
that.
saw
Did you
that.
see the guy sliding down
Yeah.
the chute with no shirt on?
But I was looking. But you look in the stands and you saw people that were like, there was no place to sit
Yeah, it was packed.
in certain areas. I mean, in some places it was cleared out, but I just couldn't believe there wasn't a trace of snow on the field. And that just fascinated me.
Didn't they call that Kansas City game the Ice Bowl?
Yeah, well, that was because the field was. It was
Yeah, but
what?
they said there's
Minus
another game
20.
that called the Ice Bowl, so they couldn't call it the Ice Bowl.
Okay.
It was
Minus
only the
20,
fourth
that's
coldest
too
game
cold.
in NFL
I saw
history.
pictures of Mahomes' helmet,
Yeah.
Oh, when
and
it
it
broke?
was like bashed in.
Oh, yeah.
The tree
yeah.
about that big.
Because it was frozen.
Yeah,
Plastic gets brittle.
yeah.
And the
Andy Reid's
walrus mustache?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, he was afraid it was going to break off.
So
In
I
fact,
saw.
when he got, according to the story, when he got into the locker room, he didn't wipe it off because he didn't want to snap the mustache. He got the hairs off his face.
Ow, that would hurt. But on that
different way to
Mahomes, on the Mahomes play, I watched a replay of it. That should have
His
been
fault.
called. He should have been called for helmet to helmet.
Yeah, you're right.
He definitely put his head
The
down and
referee-
threw it.
They won't
Yeah.
call
the
that.
refereeing in the NFL this year
It's
is
bad.
caca.
Caca.
It really has been bad.
Wait a minute. We're online. Don't call it caca.
Yeah, right.
Dude, there's a whole lot of words I could use that'd be a lot more offensive.
Well, hey, that's what we're here for.
Crappy.
To your point, when
Shitty,
you said
ugly.
there's a lot of stuff coming out early this year. I think it might be because the show's coming out early this year.
You know what? I didn't think about that. You're right.
Aren't all the shows like staggered, all the big events?
No, there's
No.
TPE is going on in like 2 weeks.
And then there's the
Then there's the PCA is the end of March. And then, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. But it seems like it's more boutique-y kind of stuff and stuff that stuff I haven't heard of. Or smaller.
There's an awful lot of stuff you haven't heard of out now. Seems like a ton of it.
Yeah. And that's cool for about 4 weeks.
It's anybody with $250,000 coming out with their own stuff.
No, it's boutique style. It's not. It's like Caldwell and Protocol. I think I saw a couple other, but the biggies aren't. But I don't know. When in general and out to this, when they come out with new cigars, it's just a slight change to something that already exists. I mean, when was the last time they had something really other than like the Macanudo Inspirado was very different.
They're coming out with a new Inspirado.
Oh yeah.
I
The
forget which
whole
one it's called, what it is.
the whole Espiritu series is very different than any Trinidad before it,
Yes.
and they're each very different than each other.
Yeah.
Like really different.
Yeah, we
the
reviewed
threes.
that last week, Paul. Sorry.
Well, I'm just mentioning it.
For number 3.
Yeah.
You've had the 3.
Yes, I have.
Out of the whole line, I like that one the best.
The 3?
Yeah.
Really?
I still
Nah,
like the
see, Rob likes the number
I
1.
like the number 1.
Well,
I don't really care for any
you
of
know, it's all
Really?
subjective.
They're okay. I mean, they're. I wouldn't go out of my way. If somebody gave me one, I'd smoke it, but I wouldn't buy one.
I think the number 1 is one of the best cigars around.
I agree.
Unfortunately, I missed the Best Cigar of the Year show, so I didn't get to say that.
We had your best go-to cigars, right?
I think so.
Yeah, we announced that. What's your best new cigar of the year? Let's just go with your favorite.
From last year,
Yeah,
I forget them now.
I remember my one.
No,
and two.
I would say the Boulevard Grand
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you like that cigar, yeah,
I like that cigar a lot.
yeah. Mine was the West Tampa Red.
Well, that's right up there.
I was neck and neck with that, and I went with the Perdomo 30th, Connecticut.
That's a good one, too.
Interesting to me that the Connecticut is I think the best of the three.
I go back and forth
Really?
between that one and the Sun
And
Grown.
the sun-grown, yeah. I think the sun-grown, to me, has a little edge.
It depends,
on the
I think
Connecticut.
maybe it depends on my mood.
Yeah, it could be.
But yeah, they
You're not a Connecticut guy.
no. But
And you're never in a good mood.
exactly.
Yeah, I like,
This is a really good cigar.
yeah,
It is.
I know.
Yes, very tasty.
I think.
So much so I'm taking my time to look at it.
Sun-grown has the edge for me on that.
Yeah,
I can't make my mind up between the Maduro and the Sun-Grown.
Yeah.
I like them
I
both.
have never been a fan of any of Nick's Sun-Growns.
Really? Because that's the only sun-grown I really like.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sun-Grown, period.
Me neither. Although
I
I,
like
do
sun-grown.
I do like the.
can't name any. Can't think of
I
any.
can't
but-
believe I'm going to say this, but I think I kind of like the Fuente sun-grown, the R series, the R52.
Yeah.
I like that.
The Magnum, yeah.
That's
what
a
they
sun-grown
call it.
rosado. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
much
it's
different.
Rosado. It's a sun-grown rosado. Yeah, could be.
And the VSG is a Sun-Grown.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm not
What
real-
used to
I
be
like
the-
VSC, but I'm not.
A
I
huge
wouldn't-
fan.
See,
I
I
wouldn't
think
go out of my way to smoke it.
I wouldn't either anymore, and I think the Spanish cedar that they used to use, I assume they still do in their boxes. I thought gave a lot of flavor to the cigars, and
be.
ever since they started putting cellophane on them, I don't think the cigar is the same.
That could be.
Like
It doesn't interact with the cedar as much.
I
unless
actually
you age it for
took-
a really long time.
I took a bunch of I saved a whole bunch of those VSG boxes, and I cut them and lined a humidor, like a cabinet humidor that I made with drawers, and I just lined it with the boxes because I love that Spanish cedar.
You know where that comes from? Not Spain.
It's Honduras, isn't it?
Ecuador. Ecuador grows so much cedar that they provide all of the cedar to Cuba for all of their boxes.
So Honduran cedar and Spanish cedar are pretty close.
Yeah, well, it came from Spain,
Yeah.
so they can still call it Spanish cedar.
You know, it's like the tobacco. It's Spanish seed.
Right.
Spanish seed cedar.
Right.
So anything else?
Nope.
What? All right, let's
Pictures
go.
and catches.
Well, what,
Pictures and
what,
catches.
February 12th.
February, yeah. is
Right
that what it
around
is?
the corner.
February 12th? Is that what it is?
Valentine's Day,
I thought it was
isn't
the
it?
14th.
Valentine's Day, isn't it?
They
That's the
gave like a
14th,
range of the 12th to the 14th, I think.
Yeah.
And they're all different, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like every
So-
time is ditched.
So
Let's wait
I
while
have to
Rob
ask a really, really
consults the
ignorant
oracle.
question. What is the meaning of? I know what a pitcher is, and I know what a catcher is, but what's pitchers and
They
catchers?
always report to camp first.
Yeah, they report to
Oh,
camp
they-
first.
so they're
they-
training early.
They
Yeah.
you know, a week maybe before the rest of the team shows up.
I assume it's a week,
No,
but I
it's,
never.
it's not that long.
Oh, really?
No, it's not that long. It's a few days.
But anyway, they open camp. They get there first.
Okay, now I know. Thank you.
So when everybody says it's pitchers and catchers, camp's opening soon.
Now I'm not so ignorant.
All right, let's rate this baby and get the hell out of here.
27 days, 12 hours, 22 minutes, and 5 seconds.
So 27 days is I forget. I can't.
So
It's
that's
too much math.
You have a pitchers and catchers countdown clock.
Spring training countdown.
I like the hat.
It's not a hat.
I'm thinking about going down. Did I say that already?
It's
What is it?
baseball with
Snow on it?
snow on it.
Oh, it looked like a
Yeah, it does look like a hat
It
on
does.
it.
It does look like a hat. What'd you say, Scott?
Nothing. Move straight.
Wow. Is that your stomach?
Yes.
You need to eat
I
something.
give it a 9.25.
Nice.
That's it? No other comment?
Well, we've been talking about the cigar through the show, so
Yeah.
I give it a 9.35. I really like this cigar a lot.
I do that. Scott,
I'll give it a 9.
Wow.
That's high for you.
It is high for you.
It's just, it keeps changing. There's all kinds of stuff going
Yeah.
on. And
The complexity of the cigars is
although the one thing
intriguing.
is I don't smoke more than the same cigar in one day anyway. But I don't know if I could smoke this back to back. It'd just be too much.
Yeah, you're right. You know, it's maybe every couple of days, maybe
Yeah.
a week in between. You know, like
Yeah,
a
because
treat.
now it's actually getting really spicy, and I think it's burning hot now for me.
You like that, don't you?
I do. I find it fascinating.
Has anybody changed on the strength? I thought it
No.
picked up a little bit.
No, but I think the pepper picked up a lot.
Your
in
pepper
the back
picked up a
half.
lot, and you don't get the orange zest anymore.
I'm getting more pepper now, yeah. Coating more of my palate.
Yeah, that's
And
interesting.
that
'Cause usually
replaced the cocoa
the
completely.
pepper's usually always on the front end.
Well, on a My Father product, the pepper is always on the front end.
Yeah,
But you know, you can blend it so the pepper blast comes later.
yeah, but I can't think of a lot of cigars that do that.
Yeah.
I'm getting cocoa again.
Okay.
Just me. I give this cigar a 9.5, man. I really like this cigar. I love it.
For me, this is one of the 2 best Rocky products.
So
It's one of the top 3 for me.
What are your 3 best Rockies?
This one, the Edition Unica, which is a Honduran Puro,
Right.
which I can't believe I like.
But you do, big time.
I do, I love it. And I like the Edge 20th Anniversary. Is
Yeah, that's
really,
that's a
really
very good cigar.
I'd go with the white, the 50th, and the new Dark Star.
I
I haven't had
yet.
that yet.
It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not that dark.
No, it's not. Very milk chocolatey.
Is it? I'd probably love it then.
I put the ALR at the top of the Rocky
ALR is
Patel.
Oh, I
good
forgot
too.
about that one.
Yeah. He's got some good cigars. He's got a lot of cigars.
Yeah.
When you look at the sales sheets or buying sheets, it just goes on forever. It's just,
My best selling Rocky is the Java.
Is it really?
Java Mint 58. Oh my, it's one of my
yeah.
best selling cigars. It's in the top 5, easy.
No accounting for taste.
Wow.
That money green.
Or lack
That's right.
thereof.
The money is green. That's exactly
And
right.
it's not a cheap cigar.
It is not.
The money is green and the band is green.
The band
It is.
and it turns you green.
It tastes,
You and me both,
kind
kiddo.
of tastes like a, what's the name? A junior mint.
Yep.
You know what? I've never had one. I've had the Java. I will not smoke the mint. I may never do it. And the store smells fantastic when somebody's smoking it. It smells great.
Yeah.
Not like a.
So why won't why won't you smoke it?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Unless for the mayor to buy.
Because I'm afraid. Yeah. I'm just afraid of. I'm just afraid. Like that little
like
ruin.
it?
Your mic off.
No. That'll ruin the cigars for me. Like the mint and cigar just doesn't seem to
No.
gel with me.
I don't think that works. Minted cigars.
Yeah. There's other cigars. Oh, you know what else I would never smoke?
We keep those in the ladies
Anything
section.
cold acid?
What was the heck the one that used to come in the bag?
Used to come in the bag.
The Jack?
Trader Jack's.
Trader Jack.
Ugh.
It smelled nice.
It did.
But I would never,
It didn't
'cause
smell like a cigar.
I was afraid that if I did that I would get like sick, and then I would. It was like I can't eat chicken cacciatore because I got sick on it when I was like 8. I was it was that kind of thing, or gin. I can't
It
drink
just
gin.
brought it
I
right
don't
back.
like gin.
I got sick of gin when I was like 6. So
You were drinking gin
Gin
at
at
6?
6.
I was just wanted to see if you guys picked up on that.
I thought I got an early start, but
I thought you were like me.
No, that was more like 15. It was the first time I ever had alcohol, and I had a lot, and we ran out of club soda,
You know what I think?
so we were just drinking gin.
I think gin.
I
was
mean
the
tonic.
I think gin was the first one I ever tasted because my mom drank gin. And I just took a sip of hers and I'm like, oh, it's horrible.
Oh my God, it smells like a
Horrible.
trash dumpster.
it's all that botanical crap.
Oof.
And tequila to me anymore just tastes like Listerine.
Will you guys
Well,
pronounce it
no,
correctly?
good tequila does
Herradura.
not taste
It's
like
to
that at
kill
all.
you.
Yeah.
It's to kill you.
If you
Not
drink
tequila.
enough of it, it's to kill you.
I
Yeah.
drank a whole bottle of Two Fingers one night.
What's
That was
that?
the last time I Two Finger tequila.
I don't even know. Oh God.
I drank the whole bottle. and I'm like, I can't drink it anymore. And now just the smell of tequila just really gets me. I can't.
Yeah.
I used to drink it. I used to drink tequila all the time.
Bad tequila smells and tastes like gasoline. Good tequila is a whole different thing.
We used to go to Casamigo. We used to be a bar in King of Prussia, and every Thursday night was tequila night. And I used to go there all the time. And we used to do shots of tequila. We used to eat the worm and all that stuff. And now I can't even stomach the smell of it anymore.
The worm is not in tequila.
It's mezcal. Isn't it?
Mezcal.
Mezcal.
Well,
And you know why they put the worm in there? It's not, some people say if you eat the worm you have hallucinations and all that stuff.
It is?
Yeah, they put the worm in, and if the worm dies and sinks to the bottom, that means it's strong enough. And if the worm floats or stays alive, then they need to distill more.
Maybe the worm just drowned.
they used to have
Here's a bottle of
contests.
tequila.
They used to have contests to see how many worms people could drink in one thing. And there's like people with like 25, 30
Worms in one bottle?
worms. It wasn't in a bottle. They put it in a glass.
Nah.
And then he would just.
I can
suck
tell
it
you how
down.
many I could
Like,
drink right now.
0.
0.
And they would put them up on the wall, like a plaque, and a person's name with how many they had.
How many worms?
I'm like, no, that's just crazy, man.
I can't eat eggs that I cook.
Why?
Because he's a bad cook.
No, I'm not. I don't. I cooked them once, and it was like it would just. I don't know if it tasted weird or I just like. No, I can't eat. I can't.
If
This
somebody
was
else cooked you eggs, it would be fine.
Yeah,
That's really
it's
strange.
very weird.
Dude, you're a strange individual.
You're just figuring this out.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's not new news.
At least I have a reason. You just decide not to like something.
Dude, that's just seriously fucked
You just
up.
like, you know what? I don't like that. Why? I don't know. I just don't.
Who, me?
Yeah, you do
Like the
that all
French.
the time.
Like the French.
You have no reason not to like the French. You just decide, I don't
Fuck
like
the
them.
French.
I don't like
As you say all the time.
Fuck the French. Exactly.
Does that have anything to do with the war?
Maybe.
Which one?
The second one.
Oh, because the revolution, they were important.
Yeah. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for
They
them.
came after the war was won.
No.
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 They helped us win.
Yeah.
Big
They
time.
stayed on their boats.
And then they asked us for help, and Jefferson said, nah, I don't think so. Which is good. I think we should keep our nose out of everybody else's business.
Business.
Ciao for now, everybody.
That sounds like a goodbye.
So, yeah, nothing else. We already rated it. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. And I guess we will see you next Wednesday live and Tuesday on YouTube. And there'll be a
Thursday on YouTube.
Thursday on YouTube. I'm sorry. There's a little QR code on the screen. I guess Piz puts it on there. But
It'll be on the next.
on Thursday you will, right?
No, because I can't.
Okay. So never mind. The QR
Just
code.
go to frickin' YouTube.
A lot of
Done with it.
stationary
Yeah.
smoke in here.
YouTube channel, CigarTIME TV. Look it
Be
up.
there.
And yeah. Thanks for watching.
Smoke often and smoke happy.
Ciao for now, everybody.
Life's too short to smoke cheap cigars.
You got it.
He's got to say it slow.
No, I just did because I
Bye.
did.